Hello, and welcome again. I'm back at it again. Story time. Yes. How are you all doing today? So far, I totally missed the stream yesterday because, yes. Yeah, wasn't feeling the best. But anyway, I'm back here again today to actually continue the story. Like any good, PGR slave. Now let's see here. Hang on a second. Sorry about that. Yes, back to what we were doing. Last time, Hanying was repaired by the Chosen Machiner. She decided to go back to Kulong to find Pulau, and she finds out she's off some gallivanting trip to the mountains. As she listened to a guy from 20 years ago that tried to use Hanying as a assassin to kill the fake shoe. A lot of stuff happened. A lot of fun stuff. Yes. Also today I finally created myself a proper intro and outro screen. I'll probably need some work on the intro one again. But oh well, it does the job, I guess. Anyway, the only thing I need to work on this channel is to actually get some emotes finally. Who knows when I'm gonna get that done. Anyway, sit back, relax, get a tea or maybe coffee, and let's delve deep into the story. The elevator shudders occasionally as it slowly climbs upward. The lantern remains perfectly still. Zhao Ven's arm is absorbing all the vibrations from the ground. Hanging seems to have fallen into the veil of silence and found at the deepest dark corners of the ship. Time, time has yet to leave its heart-wrenching mark on you. Typically, mechnoids have a much longer lifespan than any humans. Mechnoids sparing generations of their masters has been a common occurrence since the Golden Age. There spares no mortals, not even one leading the healthiest of lifestyles. Time for machines, however, seizes the moment of initialization. Perhaps machines only delay the inevitable end, death. Oh, that was her old design. Boot up number 0001 Lord Filler. Please assign a code or name to this device. This has been the beginning of time for her, as much as it was the origin of all that was unknown and unpredictable. Ever since that moment, the only mark has left her is the dark scar on her neck made by her collar. The highest electrical current released by the collar is enough to kill any being that tries to remove it. Though lasting for a mere second, the powerful pulse will inflict unimaginable heat and pain. For humans, an instant of such pain simply means eternal relief from suffering. They will never again relive that moment in their memory. Out of instinct, she moves her hand towards the scar. Just before her fingertips touch it, she bends her fingers without touching it. There is no doubt the only mark that time has left on her body, under the formidable scar, however time has etched other marks into her memory. That is, the grief and joy, bitterness and sweetness, suffering and happiness of hers, after the time that belongs only to her begins to flow. Then, please live. Let's live on together. Live on. We're here. Charles Van's voice disrupts her train of thought. The metal elevator gates open, slowly exposing the midday sun. Charles Van fiddles with his lamp to extinguish the light within before hanging it next to the other elevator. You know your way around the night, right? You're on your own from here on out now. I do. View she has, and your information to our database, so you will be able to move around the Niter and cool along without anyone stopping you. The Niter will not revoke any freedom it has granted. I imagine that we both still have a lot on our hands right now, so let's part ways here. They exchange a polite nod as a farewell. After that, Han Ying takes off in big strides onto the bright sunny deck. Han Ying? Why do they call the street Silo Street? I don't see any big tall silos here. That's because the people from the ship used to store grains and warehouses here, but not anymore. I see. So many restaurants and food stores and sugar figurines. Do you want one? I've got a few more grubs. Hanging! Look over there! Someone's doing martial arts on stage. Is there a performance? No, they are more like bodyguards. Rich people hire bodyguards to protect themselves and their goods. Oh! Can you make money as a bodyguard just by doing that? I can do it too then. Not quite, but you got the right spirit there. Huh? Might be late by the time the performance ends. If the market is still open, we'll come back through the street and get some snacks. Fresh tang hulu here. Pickled vegetables, a newly opened jar. The sun over the sea shines beautifully down, stretching her shadow across the deck. Whether she's talking life in stride or stumbling, as if she is silently telling their stories on the stage of life. Huh, that little girl. Have you thought it through? This is no trivial sum, with the materials, the frame, and the modification fees and all. I will have it already. Money's no object. Well, I know that you are the handliner, but business is business. The meager salary you make is but a fraction of the total cost. I will have it all taken care of, but do keep this confidential for me, please. That's just basic business etiquette. I don't need your reminder. That's a bit pricey, no? The purity is nothing remarkable. God knows if it's defective. I'll cut you another 20% since you're a regular. 3,700, that's how as low as it gets. 3,500, it's all yours. Buyer shakes his head, but fails to contain the joy in his eyes. He holds the carefully wrapped item in his hands, and leaves with a brimming smile on his face. Miss, what can I get for you? We've got filters that arrived just last month from overseas, top notch, guaranteed. Or the drilly here. Fine enough for athletic nobles, perfect for a lady as elegant as you. Or may I ask you what you're looking for? Is the store owner here? The owner? I'm the owner. Is there something you need? I thought the owner was Mr. Jim. Oh, you mean... Are you a friend of his? You could say that. Oh boy. See, you never know what's going to happen when your age catches up to you. Has he passed? Yes. 2 years ago. He left the store to me before he passed. And you used to work here, right? Yes, sharp eyes you have there. The giant letters Jim Man's Emporium written in golden shimmer in the bright sun, unnoticed by the passersby, is worn down wooden plank underneath. So what do you like? Snacks. What kind? Let me think. Fried meatballs. Okay, it's a lot. Can you finish it? Of course. I'm so hungry I can eat a whole cow right now. Eat slowly. You don't want to end up with a stomachache. I was super tired though. Do you like being up on stage? Yes. I only helped with moving some items, but I liked it. One day I'll be like you, Hung Ying. I'm going to shine like a star on the stage. Petals fall on pillows light, sweet sleep on a weary night. Fleeting springs, palms evading our grasp. Summer leaves whisper, cicada calls like a raindrop. Cascade, alone, shadow remains. Bravo! Wings stretchy on a southbound journey, autumn clouds miles and cold, draping the heavens. Flames of reckless arrogance over veils of solitude. And this place is yearning for winter's touch. Atop snowy peaks, snow dances as wings unfurl. Eagle soars above frosty mist. Bravo! The center stage of the night is at the end of this large deck. This was her stage. Does she have a breast increase? Leave this place and return to Kulon. You have to find your parents. Hung Ying. Sorry, Yo-Yo. She lied to you. Don't look back, Yo-Yo. Don't look back. Her eyes are more faded. Yeah, I've definitely felt those breasts a bit. The key to the dance is that you can't look back. Sorry. She is back. Utilize or discard, shine or retreat, or the path of pardoning, life wandering, talents unrecognized. But you and I looked back. That's right. Why? Don't know. Wings caught in a cage, how carefree the youthful spirit as wisdom suddenly wanes. So what did dance die for? I don't know. Clouds reach to lofty height, retreat to realms divine, my abode is found in heart's tranquil repose. Have seen the past, correct. What about the future? You've been here all along. Me? It's been a long time. You don't dance anymore? Yes, it's been a long time. You should know that I left this place long ago. But up on the stage, you're still in your element. What is the last line? You don't know? It's written by a cool poet of the past. No, I don't. The stage isn't here for me. The stage has meaning only because of the audience. And it's just like that stage, the lyrics aren't meant for you. So what is the last line? The sunlight remains unwavering of the far seas. Rome once again, the mundane sea of dust. Giants battled, flesh devoured, sing a grand elegy in memory of souls long gone. Figure next to the rundown stage leaves behind a soft sigh. Everything seems to have changed completely, and nothing seems to have changed at all. The Nighter still carries a dazzling array of goods and old and new, much of what she recalls as new. However, she has already aged and weathered in reality. Even the stage she once stood upon has not survived time's relentless siege. Hanging walks forward with determination, she finally finds herself standing before the home she once knew so well. This is where she and Paul shared their most treasured moments from her memory. Despite someone's obvious efforts to keep it tidy, neither did the small hut manage to escape the erosion of time. She holds onto the rusty handle, but does not open the door. Roar. Giant bubbler Mektai stumbles toward hanging from the side of the hut. You know. Caw. I'm back, you know. Hanging gently pets Yunu's rusty exterior as she takes a good look at her long-lost friend. Caw. Have you been gone this play while I was away? She did well. It's not your fault, you know. She left without you, but it's only because she never wanted to see you hurt. And what happened was my fault, not yours, you know. What happened to Yo-Yo was my fault. Oh. No. Stay, you know. Yuna nods and passes the faded pink ribbon in its hands to Hanging and proceeds to squat by the door of the little lodge. This is Yo-Yo's ribbon? Rah. I see. I promise I'll bring you back intact. Hanging ties the ribbon back onto Yono's mechanical arm and retreats back into the alley. She never opened that door. After binding Yuno goodbye, Hugging immediately leaves Naita. The Cradle's words hold true. Yo should be the mountains at that particular coordinate. Hugging can hardly think of anything that can possibly put Yo-Yo in a pinch. But whatever it might be, it's beside the point now. Hello. Hanging, is it? Olivia is sitting comfortably by the table, puts her tea down, and she calls softly to Hanging, who's trying to squeeze her way through the muck full of people by the nighter. Weak and light to the point of almost getting drowned out by the noise from the market, her silky voice still resonates in Hanging's ears. Do you know me? My name is Du Hung. I don't think we have met before. I don't think we have. I had your name written down in the Nighter's history over 20 years ago, though. See? What's the matter? Hung cuts the woman short, something she really ever does. She doesn't want to waste another second chit-chatting about the past. Shalvan asked me to wait for you here to bring you up on speed on a few things. Here, take a seat. Deng Ying pulls out a small stool from the tea table and pours a cup of tea for Hang Ying, with a gentle smile on her face. Thank you. So how exactly can I help you? Trust me, this won't take long, but I'm sure it'll pique your interest. I'll get straight to the point. 3 things. First, the hacker organization by the name of the Cradle still exists and is based in the mountains in that old convict I told you about. Second, the Cradle currently has control over a very complex composite of technology that is able to manipulate low-intelligence mechanoids, but fortunately, it's some low-level technology. It is obvious that Pulao went to the base of the Cradle, but according to our intel, that shouldn't be a threat to Pulao for the time being. The convict on the ship that you mentioned these. He's been locked up for 20-odd years now, completely cut off from the outside world. In all likelihood, his people probably cut him off a long time ago. People deviate from the path they set out on, and happens all the time, no? You said they could control mechanoids, which means the Cradle was the one controlling the ones I met in the auxiliary tower before. Correct. After you arrived on the Niter, we received our own report on that too, from the agents we planted there earlier. But what are they after? Feller is dead, the metropolis is in ruins. Could it be purely for revenge? You'll give yourself quite a headache if you try to understand the mind of a hacker. Nothing they do should come as a shock. Du Hung takes a sip of a bitter tea. You don't seem pressed for time. As I said, Pulao isn't in any danger for now. A few more sips of tea won't change that. The cradle in the cell of the Nino was a much more a frigid, sharp icicle as the woman in front of Hung Ying pierced the calm waters in an ancient well. Hung Ying has seen all sorts of people in the Nino. Most of the time, all she needs are a few words to figure out a person's nature and how to handle them. The woman sitting across from her now, however, shows no sign of what's going through her mind in those eyes of hers. Even if you don't trust me, you should believe in your sister. She isn't someone that just dies like that. Hung Ying knows that Du Hung seems to have put a little emphasis on the word sister. Apologies if I offended you just now. Please continue. Hung Ying nods with the same smile on her face. What I told you just now is intel. What I'm about to say is Xiao Feng's request. He asks you to please find Pulao and bring her back. You should know that's what I already intend to do even without telling me so. That's good to hear. But do be in mind that Xiao Feng is merely making a request, not giving an order. Do keep the distinction clear. A request and not an order, meaning Xiao Feng knows how important Pulao is to the current Kulong. Of course. She He is stuck in a perfectly awkward position where he needs to take care of the needs of everyone in Kulong, so he needs to keep everything in perfect balance. Anyhow, he won't make his people jump out of the frying pan into the fire. I'm just saying that he is in a difficult position. Hung is beginning to understand why Du Hung is trying to say. What will Kulong do for us in return then? I am simply a legislator from Babylonia, and who happens to be from Kulong, not a member of the Kulong crew. I can't give you any promises, but Kulong cares about the life of each of its citizens, including you. After Du Hung takes a sip of her tea, Hanya grabs a teapot and refills her cup. You don't want some? It's only fine tea for plannings. But you can't get this taste anywhere else. I've had plenty. This blend wasn't worth much back then. It was most ordinary tea on the nighter. A pot of this is worth a fortune nowadays. But you don't look like someone who's after wealth. Money can buy you a lot of things, but it's true that neither of us are people who care much about it. Du Hung holds her teacup at her lips and looks at Hung with a smile. I'm not a human. I'm sure Xiaofen has told you this. Of course, Xiaofen is very thoughtful and plans everything meticulously. Not that it matters to me. Be it Magnoids, constructs, or humans, all I care about is what they do. Tell me, do you believe in God? Du Hung suddenly changes the topic. I am familiar with Kulong mythology, which kind are we talking about specifically? Any? Can't say I do, nor can I say I don't. All I can say is that I've read many explanations and discussions of the legends, and I guess I'm not really ready to believe in them yet. Good. Humans believe in God because humans are flawed. God was conceived to make up for these flaws, but perhaps even God himself is flawed. You really are unique for a machine. Philly's skills truly are extraordinary. It's not Phila. Phila did not make me who I am. Certainly, Phila did not die for others, nor did he live for others. I meant to say that you really do stand out from the flock of machines we usually see down in Kulong streets. Let's end our chit-chat here then. Your friend has been waiting for you outside the market for quite some time now. Thank you. Don't mention it. It's my duty. Sir, another pot of fangings, please. The market is still filled with people coming and going, but a slender figure once again sits alone in the tea house. Wow. Dungan gulps down the tea before staring at the residue at the bottom. Across the table rests a cup she had poured for Hung Ying, has already gone cold. Gotta drink all there is in the cup if you don't want to die from thirst. What are they doing? What are they doing? Do they not check things anymore before they upload them? Before every update? 6 hours have passed since Hung Ying met up with Spoon on the outskirts of the port. They've just arrived at the coordinates given by Cradle. How on earth did they manage to build a path on the side of a cliff? No sign of metals, a complex structure made entirely of wood. Incredible. Judging from the architectural style, this must have been built before the Golden Age. These wooden structures have remained intact for hundreds of years, and have yet to detect the punishing virus in high density. Even when the Nine was still traversed in high seas, they still occasionally got attacked by the corrupted. In other words, they can no longer imagine a world without the punishing. How do they manage to elude the punishing while being so close to the Kulong metropolis? I've heard that in addition to the Kulong metropolis in the night, Kulong rules over bigger lands, most of which are devoid of humans. Path up this mountain is rough and treacherous. Being isolated from the outside world is probably what's been keeping it safe from the virus. Ha! Seems like it's harder to invade humans than the virus. Spinner lets out a sneer. From a crib by the name of Zero, the Punishing was born. Since its birth, human blood has always been one of the various colored blood that has stained its swaddled blanket. In the chaos of bloodshed, some have been seeking other colors, while others have been slipping away the dark crimson pool as they party like there is no tomorrow. Before we reach the night, you choose to stop and wait for me just outside the market. Do you hate humans? I don't hate humans, but I don't like them either. That's the plain truth. And I don't have anything to do with them. Spinner shakes his head as he continues up the wooden path, deeper into the mountain. There are no secrets in the Church Machina. Most Magnoids have a pristine heart and pure mind. As Aventus said, the Church Machina was built on trust and unity. Members of the Church can confide in one another without reserve. But even Magnoids have their own past. By the way, this cradle sure has a peculiar taste. Peculiar taste? Just seems odd that a high-tech hacker organization would pick such a remote location to be their base. Feels paradoxical. It's your first time in Kulong, I presume? Correct. I've only heard about this place from others. This is how it works, for instance. For Magnoids like us, a place like this might be described as scenic. And there will be no objective truth. But for the people of Kulong, lamenting the passing of the seasons amidst the beauty of nature is a habit that's ingrained in their minds. You mean that humans are often too blinded by their own emotions to see the objective truth of the place? That's an oversimplification. Unable to understand Hunging's words, Spinner shakes his head. Humans are always so complicated. It is something of a mystery, but you seem to understand it. Clear springs cascade over a tapestry of 1,000 cliffs, winding trees weaving their greenery through verdant kingdoms. A verdant kingdom fast. What? Sorry, it's just a poem I once read somewhere. I can't think of a fitting way to describe this view off the top of my head, so I recited a line from an ancient Kulong text. I suppose it's supposed to express something very subtle? Guess you could say that. I've only scratched the surface of Kulong culture, but from what I see, Kulong prefers to use metaphors and euphemisms rather than being direct in their expressions of emotions. Humans have a habit of concealing their feelings in their words, ironically, though their feelings are distorted if expressed through language. That's true. Language and words can induce as much ambiguity and direct communication among Magnoids. There is so much to lose if humans lose their language and writing. In Hunging's database in her memory shell, lines that could be used to describe the current scene and number in the head hundreds. Even the same space, the time, description, and the same entity are often, they're not different. And their writer's emotions, their hearts, are buried deep within these elusive words. Dong, dong, dong. Is that the sound of a bell? Soft chimes of a bell meander through the lush canyons. Shelfing's report does not mention this chime. According to the civilians who have returned, anyone who sets foot on this mountain will hear this sound. Plus sightings of other supernatural beings along with lightning and thunder. Do you believe in those legends? I am just not ready to believe in them yet. Many Kulong traditions have their roots in the humans' reverence for wonders of nature, along with legends that can no longer be verified. Even the stories you hear get weirder and weirder. Dong, dong, dong. Chimes continue to resonate between the cliffs, but what appears in front of Hunging isn't depicted in any of Kulong's myths. Alright, we're gonna be following a blue thing. By the way, the average Chinese does not have a breast size that big. Gonna go walking through the mountains, Michelle. So much on these magnoids seem to be left by some blunt weapon. Could it be a heavy weapon? Guess I will meet them soon if I keep going up. And an attack. Hey, what did I just experience a break from? Let's go. Oh, look. Unlike knowing enemy evasion, enemies must be eliminated. Are you looking from their perspective? Oh, I forgot to do the ding ding ding. Or I forgot and hangings spilled. I suppose this is a warm welcome for us then. Spooner punches through half of the face of the enormous stern line. The passage falls quiet once more. These magnoids are quite old and severely weathered. Some even have moss grown on them. I've never seen like a model like this. At least not on the nighter. I'm sure there's a reason for that. Spooner continues ranking through the remnants of the passage. As he passes hanging a rusted component. Inscribed on tiny menu are two tiny lines of Kulong's ancient script and numbers. It's impossible to decipher. The letter is now covered in rust. This should be the ID tag installed inside the Magnoid when it was first manufactured. That's probably what it is, but check the other side. Spinner flips apart and hanging his hand to reveal a bundle of colourful new wires. These were clearly added during a recent modification. There are signs of older modifications underneath. Like that, the modifications of each of these magnoids look different. If all they did was modify, the schemes is rather crude. This must be the work of the cradle. Maybe we could extract data about the cradle from the memory shells, even if it's just information about this mountain. No luck. None of these magnoids have an intact storage unit. In place of a storage unit, they will have a transmitting device. There's no doubt they are being controlled. A tool does not need to think. You asked me earlier whether I hate humans? I did, but I thought you might have your reasons, so I didn't push it. Each member of the church has their unique stories. As for me, I escaped from humans many, many years ago. In that arena, I was forced to fight magnoids day in, day out by the owners of the ring. I was even forced to fight humans. The owners wanted nothing but bloodshed and flying wreckage, but that was only my chance of survival. For the humans was nothing but a tool for them to satisfy the lust for blood. Even now, some humans still think that way. The remains scattered here are the best proof. Spinner puts down the fragment in his hand and breathes out a heavy sigh. Magnoid aren't supposed to have cognition, are they? All these years ago, my creator saw me as nothing more than a tool to have no need for cognition. Your creator is probably from Kulong as well. Correct. Do you remember your maker? I don't know his name, but I'm pretty sure I recognize his face if I saw him. Magnoids do not forget. As long as we have a compatible storage unit, our memory shell will forever store the endless flow of time. Compared to the mortals, we'll never forget. This is a rather cruel advantage. As I was forsaken by my creator, I failed to meet his expectations, to realize his wishes. I didn't even have a name. The day my maker left Kulong, I was locked away, completely and utterly abandoned. That means he never recognized you as his creation. Huh? Xavier once told me that a maker must name their creation. Apparently that is an established rule among humans. That's why Xavier gives all sorts of bizarre names to each of the gadgets he's designed. If a maker refuses to name their creation, they would mean they do not recognize it as theirs. Ella never once acknowledged the meaning of my existence. I don't see anything bad about that. The meaning of our existence doesn't depend on our makers. I would say that's for us. Our creators are just indelible codes from the past that was engraved into our memory shells. Nothing more and nothing less. It is true that I do not find the meaning of my life from my character. Perhaps there really is a man-made beating heart in my chest. My maker wasn't my motivation to go look for a heart when I was ready to do so. I presume this human by the name of Yo-Yo is your motivation. Well, I suppose. Did this Yo-Yo also give you your name? No. I found this title in an Agent Coolong text myself. It wasn't even meant to be a name. I never imagined myself to ever possess a name. But she told me that that's my name, and that's a name that only belongs to me. At that moment, for the first time, I actually owned something. Sounds like she means a lot to you. Hierophant once said that each Mechanoid had two births. The first one is disassembled, that is the birth of the body. The second is the emergence of its consciousness and awakening. In that sense, maybe Yo-Yo is the key to your awakening. Hanging nods softly as she peers into the misty clouds and the distance moving through the rocky spires. Nevertheless, Fiddler is still my creator. She gazes at her hands, wildly questioning all the expectations and resentments borne by this body. I will never deny that. Sorry for reminding you of difficult times. I'm not very good at talking about profound topics like this. No, it's fine. You said yourself, every member of the church has its own unique story. What are you? With a gentle smile, Hanging nods. I want to fulfill my past promise first, nothing more. Because I am probably no longer welcome on the night or Coolong for that matter anymore. Whether it's to repay the sage machiner for waking me, or for all the help I received from the church, I will eventually accept Arcana's invitation and contribute what I can to the church. The church of the machiner welcomes you. Arcana will be overjoyed to hear that. Perhaps I shouldn't say this, but I truly felt at home in the church of the machiner. I only ever felt that way when I spent time with Yo-Yo. We can talk about anything and crack jokes. No formality whatsoever, or they need to guess what's going through the other person's mind. I suppose that's what family is like. Yes, exactly. Enveloped by the lingering mountain of fog, Hungy gazes the place she once called home. Let us carry on so we can go home. I didn't know that would just exit the game. Alright. Was it supposed to be a boss battle? Well, of course I'm gonna. Oh yeah, it is just my... Yeah, it's my pull out. Caw. A battled Guardian struggles toward pull-out. Its long blade meant for slashing enemies has become a walking stick. Cold light flashes behind pull-out just before the Guardian is pierced through the chest by a spear. Line its eye slowly thickens and fades until it shuts off completely, and my weapon falls from its grip. My lady, I'm fine. The McKnight didn't seem to have ill intentions, but it's neutralized now nevertheless, thank you. We just finishing off a few small fries behind. Pull-out picks up a fallen sword and belonged to the Guardian. A cluster of debris from Coolong McNoids lay in front of her. All these Coolong McNoids were hijacked, including the Guardians. This must be the Cradle's doing. But we haven't found any hackers. It means we haven't encountered anything except aggressive mechnoids. As long as they're still hiding in this mountain, we will find them. Seems like they have not only kidnapped Kulong civilians, they are also collecting mechnoids for their own use. If nothing is done about it, they could become a threat to Kulong. Roger that. We will speed up our search for the hackers and the missing civilians. Wait. The long blade in Pulong's hand is a standard weapon for Guardian 1. It was designed to be durable to withstand attacks from all sorts of enemies, but this one is covered in rust, its edges marred with numerous chips. Has any of you rested since we got here yesterday? We haven't. Not when it's our responsibility as Pulau crew to protect Kulong and its citizens. That won't do. Pulau puts the long sword next to the Guardian and in a stern tone starts speaking to Pulau crew. Humans have limits. How are we supposed to keep Kulong safe if all you work yourselves into pulps? We don't feel particularly tired though. You don't need to act tough when it's just us alone. The head of the pull-out crew is about to say something, but swallows her words. Understood. Let's get some rest then. A dozen pull-out crew line up in the passage, quickly scatters, each looking for a couple of slots to get some rest. I'll keep watch, my lady. I'll join you. Gwen leads her onto a tree branch hanging from the wooden passage. They sit down together. From here they have a clear view of the narrow trail they took up the hill, and the mountain emerges in amid the hazy clouds nearby. Pull-out gets out a piece of candy and holds it to the girl sitting beside her. Oh, it's a girl. Wait. Oh yeah, that's a girl. I can't tell. Just a little something to keep you going. You're tired. Thank you. Pull-out crew peels off a wrapper and tosses... Doesn't even give them a name. Pull-out crew pulls off the wrapper and tosses the lime-colored candy into her mouth. Wow, this is super sour. It's salted plum candy. Pull-out unrolls one for herself and chucks into her mouth. Sour indeed. Do you always have candy with you when you go on missions? It's just an old habit. But you don't need to eat candy for energy now anymore, right? I don't need to, but it doesn't mean I won't. Pull stares at the clouds surrounding the towering mountains as she gently swings her legs. You can't find a view like this on the nighter. Kulong may well be the last place in the modern world that still offers such a sight. I remember that when I was young, my father would tell me tales of lots of different places. Some were desolate mountains, some of glamorous, magnificent cities, and even railroads that span the entire continent. He must have been a lot of places. I'm jealous. But in the end, he left the Niter. My father left the Niter while I was still very young. He roamed the world as a scavenger when I was raised by my mother. He only contacted us a few times over a decade. Oh, I'm sorry. No, but he probably doesn't even remember that he has a daughter. As long as you still remember him, you'll see him again. Pull-out flushes a bright smile and gives her companion a few pats on the shoulder. I've always held on to the belief that one day we'll be reunited with the ones we hold dear. We will. The fog thickens just as the candies Pull-out's mouth melts away and vanishes. Did you manage to get some rest today? I took a quick nap around you. Okay, I'll let you take over then. Wake me right up if anything comes up. Copy that. No sooner as she's laid down the dead branch that the distant echo of a bell begins to resonate through the valley. Dong, dong, dong. Alert, alert. This same sound we heard every time before the enemy attacks. Come on, not even let us rest now. Pull out of Kulong. Prepare to fight. Is that the sound of the bell? Let's go. Oh, they already did. Okay, we get 2 Guardians. Let's go. Let's beat up some fools. Oh yeah, let's sleep on top of the ridge. I don't know how she managed to do that, but okay. Oh, they snipe. What do they do? Always flying around. Are they dead yet? What a strange enemy. I'm just gonna kill him. You're not dead. Why are you not dead? Alright. Sup? How you doing, my boyos? I'm gonna smash your face in. Nah, I wasn't meant to do that, but whatever. Teleporting machines. What a dark time we live in. Alright, job done. May the heavens stand unchanging. 3 o'clock, up on the rock face. They're closing in. Up there, right above us. Strike them down. May fate unfold in a gentle sway. Back into formation. Passage, they're destroying the wooden passage. Watch out. Shiana, hold my hand. To spiritual peaks may you find your way. It's so cold. I don't want to die. Don't let go. Hold on. Quick, hurry. Please let the bleeding stop. That won't do. Get the soldering iron. We've got to seal it off. May you deal one final well-being's brace. My lady? Yes? Casual check is complete. 3 killed. 2 severely wounded are being attended to. I see. But Shiana? We'll find her a way down. No, we have to. Yes, understood. Let's get some rest now. Copy that. After giving out the instructions, Puel leans against a wooden pillar outside the corridor alone and digs out another piece of soldered plum candy for her pocket. Takes her 3 tries to get the wrapper off with her fingers, still trembling. If she's feeling exhausted, for a moment she's on the verge of tears, but she managed to hold them back. She tosses the candy into her mouth and falls into a deep slumber next to heaps of wreckage, surrounded by a cold mist amidst the verdant peaks. Here, hold your head just a bit higher. Right here. 1, 2, 3. Keep your eyes on your hand like this. Lift slowly up to here. Got it? Here, I'll show you. Yearning for winter's touch atop a snowy peaks, snow dances. Your eyes and hand have to move together, except for the last slide, when they have to part. Don't look back, Yo-Yo. Don't look back. The key to this dance is that you can't look back. Let me try again. Good. Practice makes perfect. Huh? You guys are still there? It's getting late. Yo-Yo's entrance exam is coming up the day after tomorrow, so I'm helping her with her practice. Oh my, don't be so harsh on your little sister. See, she's sweaty all over. I'm not done yet. I want to practice some more. I mean, hugging. We can let her in without a test if you just put a word for her. Everyone knows how you've been taking care of us all these years. No, because I know she can do if she puts in the hard work. That goes to show that you really are sisters from the same mother. Good luck then, I'll be off. Remember to take a break. Uncle Kai saved some food for you too. Remember to go see him before you head back. Well, thank you very much. What did the food taste like that evening? It's the taste of being a human. Uncle Kai. Oh, you're hungry. Quick, sit down. Sorry for keeping you waiting, Uncle Kai. Oh, don't worry about it. I need to head out on a night patrol anyway. Plenty of time to save some food for you. Got some spicy boiled fish, white cut chicken, eggplant with minced pork for dinner tonight. Wow, this meal is amazing. There's a whole lot of food. I saved a lot for you. A few hungry bears tried to ask for some, but I said no. Thank you, Uncle Kai. Well, kids, eat more when they're growing bones. Yummy. Glad you like it. I'm going to head out on my patrol now. Enjoy your meal. Bye, Uncle Kai. Thank you. Slow down or you choke. How are you feeling? I'm fine. Working on the basics should make anyone tired. My muscles are just a little sore, but nothing can't be solved with this table of yummy food. You'll feel better after taking a hot bath when we get home. Yeah, have some of this. Okay? I never tasted anything like the meal that night ever since. Ever since the night, I've never seen her smile again. Hanging? It's just a dream. Bruno moves her mouth around only to realize that the salty plum candy has already melted, leaving a sweet flavor with a tinge of sourness and bitterness. Coming to sight of the same lush mountains, the same chilly fog, and a path forward that seems to have no end. Alright. A little seed lies quietly in her hand. We're here again. We're just going around in circles. Spinner crushes the pebble he placed on the eaves himself 2 hours ago. The mountain trails here sure are more complicated than they seem. Your friend might be as lost as we now on this mountain. We haven't seen any treats or yo-yo for a while. Over there, hanging. Following Sprinter's finger, she sees it. Over the wooden passage just on a cliff is sort of a hunched-over figure. Human? We haven't met a single human since we entered this mountain. And one appears exactly where we find ourselves lost. On the odds are. What do you think? This could be a very trap set up by the cradle. But we have to be going in circles on this mountain for a while without any lead. So we're going to give it a try now, even if it's bait. You cannot get your hands on a tiger cub without entering the tiger's den. I don't quite understand that calling zone, but alright. I'll leave for talking to you. I find it difficult to interact with humans. In the midst of the discussion, the hunchback old man walks straight past Spooner and hung as if he can't see them. Sir? Oh, my apologies. My ears and eyes are failing me. I'm Miku. Nice to meet you two. Do you live on this mountain? You could say that. It's just a mountain with a tiny temple. Could you tell us what exactly happened here? Do you know anything about the cradle? And have you seen a little girl?
Sure have a lot of Christians. Take it easy.
The old man brushes up some dirt on a rock nearby and leans against it.
We're still a distance away from the top of the mountain. It wouldn't hurt to take a break here.
Spinner grows alarmed hearing the old man's words. Wait, how did you know we were heading to the peak?
I don't suppose my guess was wrong, though. That's where people go when they visit the mountain. It's been that way since only heavens knows when. We have no reason to believe him, but I'll answer whatever questions you might have.
Well, here we go, Hung Ying. I'll be hanging around for recon. Hit me up if you need anything. People from Kulong sure have an interesting way with good words. Casting a look at Hung Ying, Spinner steps over to the other side of the passage.
Hung Ying, that's a great name indeed. Now, let's see.
What happened here up on the mountain next time? We haven't run into anyone but you the entire way and coming up.
Well, let's just say some people showed up here uninvited.
And I suppose it's the cradle?
Correct. They came a few decades ago, took over the mountain temple. Mountain temple had always been here, except they showed up, and I suppose the mountain temple will still be here in a few years when they were gone.
You seem quite familiar with them.
Well, I've learned a few things over here over the years as a janitor. What I just told you, I learned them from people.
Is anyone else here?
Nope, all gone.
I was wondering if you ever seen a kid here about 15 to 16 years old wearing a white cape.
I don't think that's someone I describe as a kid.
I suppose you've seen her then?
I saw her a while back when she passed by in a rush leading a group of people, looking like a boss carrying a giant axe and all. Pretty sure that was her.
Says MIKU as he points to the passage just behind the cliff.
I'm sure that was her because she was just like you.
Like me?
Right in the way you're both trapped in the dark, throwing yourselves afire. People are after the delusional wishes that Cradle created, and the killers after the delusional consequences the Cradle left in its wake. You're no different.
But I didn't come seeking any delusion, though.
Is she whom you really come looking for?
Sticking his hand into the shade of the tree by rock, MIKU comes up with an apple.
Have you any idea why this mountain is called Mount Hulu?
Mount Howell? I have no idea.
The mountain didn't used to go by name until a little over a millennium ago, when a poet by the name of Householder Shang-Wu passed away here. Legend has it that she was just passing by when decided that this was where she was going to end her life. And so the mountain was named after her. But the name's just a name. What matters what lies beneath.
Could you shed some light on that?
There are things that even mankind struggles to wrap up our heads around. It would be unreasonable to ask robots to do the same. Still, being humans of a machine, we're all emotional beings that belong to the world. So there will become a day when we understand things that we once struggled to understand. Strange how there isn't a single apple tree here up on the mountain, no.
With it, the man passes the apple in his hand to Hung Ying. Sure, it's tasty.
Of course, it's fleshy, soft and sweet.
But is this really an apple?
Could be well. It is, at the very least.
Looking every bit as real as an extra apple and emitting a fresh fruity tang, the fruit shimmers with a tantalizing red. But before she knows it, the apple, soon having defied all common sense, has grown into an enormous maple tree before it. Wilt shrinks into a tiny seed all in the blink of an eye and lies quietly in her hand. Wait, I don't know. This is possible. Is this some sort of illusion?
Birth and death, everything there is in the world experiences the cycle.
But it doesn't happen to speed in the real world, which means this is all a dream. Fung Ying's eyes upon him, the man without saying a word looks back at her with a gentle smile. But how did I even get here without picking up a single sign? Wait, is it because of the cradle?
That would be correct.
I take it that the same happened to Yo-Yo too.
She passed here 3 days ago, taking the path right ahead.
Without getting lost?
They seemed very interested in her, so they drew her toward the peak of a very straightforward path.
They, as in the cradle?
The man shakes his head, not answering Hung Ying's question.
Was there a way I can find her and leave this place then?
That's where people go when they visit the mountain. It's been that way since only heaven knows when. Past the peak, you'll find the answers you need to all the questions you have. Can I help you with anything else?
What are you going to do?
Me? What exactly do you think this old man's going to do?
We come across nothing but modified magnoids the entire way. We didn't even see a single human being until we met you. And granted, this was all a dream. Why are you telling me all this though? Can I really trust you?
That's for you to decide. Truth is but an eye of the beholder, or a rose by the other name, would just smell as sweet. The man reaches for the seed and Hung his hand and takes it. Let me keep this seed for you now. We cross paths again, and here they are. The old man's body begins to digitalize. Hung Ying.
Having been keeping an eye on the scene this entire time, Spinner wastes no time rushing up to Hung Ying, except when he gets there, the man who's been sitting on the rock is now nowhere to be seen. I'm fine, Spooner.
Totally knew you were up against something.
This place isn't real. If that what the man said was true?
What do you mean?
The man. Show me what happens here can go beyond our understanding of how things work in the real world. And that we might have walked straight into the trap that Cradle set up from the get-go without knowing it.
And I gather that means we're in some sort of virtual world.
Now, how crazy it sounds, but I think that's what's happening.
There's no way to prove it one way or another, though. I mean, if this entire thing has been a trap from the get-go,
then this is a place where reality and virtuality blend into each other like in a dream.
Does it count as a dream, though? Because theoretically speaking, Magnoids don't dream. Our neural circuits that runs on a minimal power is the closest thing we have to what a human would call a dream.
Have you ever had a dream?
Never.
I've been in one myself until Sage woke me up from it. And all those days that Yo and I spent together on the nighter seemed like a dream to me from yesterday.
Magnoids are dreaming. That's unheard of.
Everything seemed real in the dream I was in. I probably knew that it was a dream somewhere deep down. Still, I wasn't able to wake myself from it. Well, I guess it's more like I didn't want to wake up from it.
Had you ever seen Sage before then, or with any of her work?
Never. The only thing I've heard about her was that she was able to enlighten Magnoids and give us the way they call a heart.
Which means you worked solely by living with the little girl, without having ever met Sage. Mankind's records say that dreams show anyone's consciousness very vividly. It's only when a machine has awakened and it becomes aware of itself. And with that realization comes consciousness. That consciousness, in other words, is the heart.
So that is the heart.
The first one I come across the church describes their consciousness as dreams.
Something we've only heard a handful of times, even from Sage herself. Spindle's words seem to be pointing at the only one thing now.
And if you truly had awakened by that point, that means you had a heart.
That's what Saventa said to me too, back at the church. Except I've no idea how to prove that, and I kinda had no way to prove this part that they call the heart.
I mean, that's not something that needs to be proven to begin with. Spinner shakes his head in confusion. I haven't quite wrapped my head around all this just yet, but do you trust that man? For what it's worth, he might have just been something that Cradle tried to bait us with.
I don't think he's fabulist, given his peaceful, insightful tone. Something he intentionally left unspoken throughout the entire conversation, or we both knew perfectly well that he was withholding something.
Strange indeed. The Cradle could have just turned this place into a maze and never let us leave, had they really wanted us to suffer.
If the man said truth is but in the eye of the beholder. And that to me sounded like we could make our way out of here with whatever path we think would be able to get us out of here.
Is that all we need to do to get out of here? I mean, that sounds almost too easy to me.
If really are in a dream, then I guess I would hurt to try to get a little bit more imaginative. Where is the pathway we're just on?
This way, along the cliff to the left.
Taking a step forward, taking a step forward, Hunging sets a foot again with the same passage she's been through the only way too many times.
We've been through the path countless times already.
Now let's give it one more try.
The Weaver. Oh, actually low in energy, that's surprising. The sound of the bell continues to linger in the mountain valleys. The previously faint and muffled chimes have now become distinct, possibly because the two have passed the halfway point of the mountain.
This is the fourth time.
The sky begins to darken, and the vegetation arriving at the foothills gradually turns from lush green to subdued grey-yellow as they descend. After breaking out of the looped passage near the mountain's midpoint, Hunging sees a brand new path continue to appear ahead of herself, leading the two into a landscape painted in autumnal hues of yellow and red. Along with new paths, endless streams of Mechnoids disappear out of nowhere to hinder the travellers. Bell is probably a sound signal that someone is using to control these Mechnoids. And leveling the wooden passage are clouds of snow and white mist. A 1,000-tree woodland stands ahead, it all are withered and rotting. Funny how fighting in a virtual world can actually tire you out, huh?
Do you need to rest?
I'm fine, but we've been coming a few hundred meters up since we left the place. Can't even remember to get out of them, no? God only knows just how much longer it's gonna take before we reach the peak.
What's for the nose?
This is like the first chapter I noticed it. Everyone says no at the end of every sentence. This is some sort of translation.
Usually say no. It's like a speech.
I wouldn't say it's more of a speech tick than anything else.
According to the info received when we left, this mountain is a 2,000.
Which means we've only come halfway.
Yes, but it's about half a day since we got here.
Hunger's been on edge since they ran into the man. They are interested in her. Why did the Cradle try to bait Yo-Yo into coming here? From within her memory chip, her past pains her. Because it was that fateful day years ago that Cradle threatened Yo-Yo into carrying out the compatible mission. And that's what cost Yo-Yo her memory, along with her right as a human being, turning her into a construct.
This is going nowhere.
Dong dong dong. No hugging. There isn't around you. Watch out. Sprinter's body gradually dwindles as it disintegrates into lines of data, leaving the sound of a few fragmented words.
Spooner!
Hunger tries to turn her aim for to get the hold of disappearing Spooner. With it, she sees that her hand is disappearing in the setting sun too.
This is sure going nowhere, which is why I'm here to give you a boost.
Now you only have yourselves to count on to find the answers to your question. Let's go and do some dancing. So when you play a mini game. Butterfly girl.
Yo-Yo in the night. Is this another dream?
No, she's the real Yo-Yo. This isn't the real night either.
But why are there two strange butterflies around Yo-Yo?
Unless we follow the butterflies.
I guess we follow the butterfly. Interesting. Let's go. Let's go. Butterflies appeared again. If the butterfly is related to Yo-Yo, could also be a key to leaving this place. I don't think her name is pronounced as Yo-Yo, but anyway. She really does as a voluptuous body. Bloody hell. Well, let's give them a bit of a beating. Oh, a butterfly. Seems the butterfly in this stream is related to Yo-Yo indeed. But even Yo-Yo is nothing but an illusion. Wow, I'm getting my ass beaten. Let's go some dance moves. That's more like it. What are them butterflies doing? Poem of Machines. Oh yeah, I'm gonna start from the beginning. Ah, I can't believe it. It was quite a journey. Heave ho! Shame it's not voice acted. It was quite a journey. The Cradle's base should be running ahead. I must hurry. That walk animation. Huh? Who's there? The person's disappeared. Is this some sort of trick? I knew there's gonna be an ambush. You've chosen the wrong opponent. Get lost. And I'm gonna get my ass beaten. You're gonna have. Well, it's already dead. And I'm already exhausted. Oh my. There we go. My heart lingers in the thirsty mountain. Alright. The grounds for VODS is essence blossoms. Now we're in a different outfit. Well, we're gonna go up to the mountain and find out everyone's there is actually dead. They all died a long time ago. Let's go. Lay them in the smackdown. Let's go. Oh, there's still more. And yeah, but Emily wasn't even close. Still more. Let's go. Is it my illusion? Emily hiding over there. Pointless if you can't hit me. Stone line. When would a stone line just odds I have to run? Really? I'm just getting stun locked. Wow, great. Wow, this is a fun challenge. Just get stun locked and crushed to death. Amazing. What a great challenge. What? I can't even run backwards. At this round, I actually am gonna die. Did I actually make it? I guess. Oh, now we got the special outfit. Now I'm gonna have a fight against the 4. The fighters from a dream. I can't even see their attacks. Smackdown. Come on. Just die already. And she falls asleep. Did she just get yeeted? I'm just confused. Wow, that animation budget. Wow, so amazing. Ugh. Pinky, pinky swear. Hanging in you swear. A promise made, a promise kept, a promise of 100 years. When Hanging opens her eyes once more, she's no longer on the deck of the Niter, nor is she standing on the passage she was on. She's now standing on the unfamiliar cliff. This is a different dream. The sight of the Niter cannot be more familiar, but she knows it's another dream. Because at the end of the long avenue, she did not reach out to hold Yongyu's hand. Hongyu should have... What am I saying? Yo-Yo should have... Round and smiled at Hung Ying and her sister, but Hung Ying never saw her fate. Pure Kid Warrior sorry, Hung Ying is unsure what exactly is holding her back. Yo-Yo. Hey. Following a wave of distorted data signals, the Spoon appears next to Hung Ying. His eyes look much more solemn than before, and remain transfixed on the path ahead. That was yet another dream, right? Yes. Hung Ying. I think the person I'm looking for might be on this mountain too. You mean the friend you spoke of? Yes, in the dream just now I saw his silhouette. I saw the violent stormy night when he made an escape from the fighting ring. I saw his name, Ulysses. Only his name, did you see him? Might have already met him earlier. Spinner shakes his head, still wearing a stern expression. He falls into a deep thought. No, I only remember his name. I didn't see him. Ulysses is a name given by the humans from the fighting arena. A name just like Spooner. He was the one who rescued us from the endless bloodshed yet. He led us through the gates and saved every Meknoid from that ring. We couldn't see each other's faces clearly that day because of the pouring rain. Only had time to quickly learn about each other's names before we scattered to avoid being captured by our pursuers. Just now, if it was I returned that night. Well, I felt like I traveled back to the night from past too. I saw things that might have to do with Yo-Yo, but I didn't see Yo-Yo herself. True self-destruction due to logical error in the neural circuit. Mechnoids who opt for death regrettably are beyond rescue. Hanging recalls what Savita said to her about mechnoids that die from self-destruction, and all the mechnoids that choose self-destruct had ended up in a recursive loop of self-contradiction. If dreams like these are sufficient to blur the fine line between reality and illusion for mechnoids. That wasn't a dream, though, so it can't be real. If it did happen in the past, and the social reality we're in right now is something like a dream too. Hanging frantically shakes Spooner's body, trying to help him out of his endless thinking that seems to be the black hole that's sucking him in. This is weird indeed. I've never dreamt before. But there must be a reason. You told me that your friend ended up at Kulong, right? Yes, but that's just what I've heard from some of the mechnoids. My sixth sense tells me that he is here, though. Hanging pauses for a moment, but swallows what she's about to say. Judging from the mechnoids met on the way here, if Spooner's friend did enter this mountain, his chance of survival is slim. and up to this point, Hanging is yet to lay her eyes on another humanoid hybrid mechanoid like Spooner. I'm sure we'll find Useless if he's on the mountain.
Ho ho, how are you two faring? An old withered voice enters their ears. I assume that both of you have found the answers you are looking for? Who exactly are you? Marvelous question, I'm sure you know the answer already in the dream just now. Sometimes the answer doesn't just matter as much as the question you arise. It might be agonizing to have questions with no answer, but having an answer without a question is to have nothing but a void.
Did you make us enter those dreams?
That's one way to see it.
Which means that you could control this entire virtual space.
No, I have yet to gain that kind of authority. The Cradle doesn't let anyone but themselves possess that kind of power. After all, they're a group of children unwilling to submit their fate into the hands of others.
Who in the world are you? You have the power to make us dream, but your methods differ significantly from the Cradle's.
Surely I have told you before that I'm just a frail old man.
Then are you the Cradle?
Of course not. But whether to believe, that is your choice.
Evidently, no man is still hiding something from them. There's probably no use attempting to probe this issue further. Have you seen a mechanical called Useless?
Wait, I thought you were looking for Yo-Yo.
Useless is someone my friend is looking for. Useless.
Such an exotic name, just like Spooner. Have you seen him? Unfortunately, I do not know of a Useless.
Upon hearing the answer, Spooner looks somewhat disheartened.
But as long as you have that wish in your heart, you will be realized in this mountain. After all, this is a place where those who have lost their hope shall be granted hope. And were creed they bestowed upon this mountain. Dong, dong, dong.
Is the fighting never coming to a stop? Upon hearing the chimes, the two visitors instinctively readied themselves for a battle. However, with a wave of his arm, the old man signals for them to relax.
Oh, Tim.
Over there, let's follow it. Magnolia said suddenly on the passage ahead.
Never Magnolia, huh?
Oh ho.
Had enough of me talking? That's fine. Go ahead and follow it. They are waiting.
Is the Cradle just up ahead?
They certainly are not the Cradle.
The old man digs out a tiny seed from his pocket and places it in Hanging's hand.
You can have this from here on out.
Seed?
Yes, I bet they'll come in handy to you at some point down the road.
Dong dong dong.
Coming, jeez. Just an old man enjoying his conversation. What's all the rush?
The old man giggles to himself as if he were replying to the chimes of the bell.
Let's out now. The final leg of the journey may be the most grueling yet. But promise to be kind whoever you encounter ahead, whether it's the truth or a deception. We are here. Go this way and follow the path. You'll come across the gate.
We can choose to awake or not. Where is this place?
Just follow him. They are waiting ahead. You'll find what you're seeking.
We don't know what's waiting ahead. It seems like pushing forward is the only option left. Flying from here would be tragic.
Should be nothing for you, right? It's just maintaining
my mans. Let me go. In life, how many autumn souls? The human world is but a dream. Night wind blows, leaves to the porch beam. And onto the sideburns and brows. So Kulong made Meknoids. But they don't seem hostile. Are they talking? You can do some shaken, do some shaken. Left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. Who are you? Why are you here? They live here. Their Meknoids won't talk like that. What on earth are they?
Child, you talk like that too, don't you?
No.
He is really impatient. Truth has already been unveiled before you. The problem is you refuse to accept it.
Never been on a train, but you never come back, Daddy. Only one here all along. Don't laugh at me. Just because of my tongue. They look down on me, insult me. Why I didn't do this full build up. I was an idiot. Kicked me out because you were jealous of me. It's your loss. You just couldn't take it. I was right. Never care about the truth, you just don't. My child. I always wanted to see you. Must be tall and pretty. Daddy is back. He'll recover soon. Are these your memories? How could McDonald's have parents of children to catch diseases? No, you. This is life only humans live.
Like I said, they live here.
These McDonald's are humans? Hmm. Just below the wooden deck along the rock face is a cluster of muddy clouds. The setting sun dips into a mountain, a mere blank, and it will vanish.
But for the ones who seeks the mountain, their gaze is to nothing but the winding path, the steps adorned with moss and the unconquered ridge. You could see Korlong from here in the past, but the city would disappear from the view past this point.
Mechna was stationed on the deck, scattered as the old man finished his sentence. A path to the edge of the deck is cleared for hanging, and the old man. Yet we cannot see anything but somber clouds now. Still troubled by the unbearable truth, Hanging is not in the mood to appreciate the scenery pointed out by the old man. If the old Mechnoids on this mountain are humans, does that mean...
That is not exactly true. These Mechnoids are merely reflections in this dream of the real Mechnoids in the real world. In this reflection, the cradle inserts the extracted memory and data of the humans into the Mechnoids in order to control the Mechnoids that are in real life.
Which means I've been killing humans since we entered this mountain.
Do you find that difficult to escape?
I don't know. I really don't know. Hung's voice trembles slightly as her body does. Inside the body of these Mechnoids are living human beings. I just don't...
Perhaps all of us are just cold, lifeless machines in human skin that commit human sins.
No, it's not the same. Hung stares at her hands, unable to stop that trembling. Tool to kill. No, shouldn't have been like this. She only ever wanted to find Yo-Yo, to find the meaning of the heart and the soul, to fulfill her promise and nothing more. Perhaps the self-sacrifice she so firmly believed in was but an excuse to justify her actions, nothing more than a cover for her selflessness. What on earth have I done?
I guess it's safe to say that anything you encounter here are not humans that are alive. Can a human be alive without a physical body?
only his memories and data. Like a carry pen, the old man gently strokes the metal arm of a bubbler Meknor sitting beside him. The cradle duplicated human memories and data to project into this dream. At that point, they had already given up all hope and died. They chose death willingly. It was not for the sake of others, in fact. They were grateful to you. Why? Just because all they have are their thoughts and spirits doesn't make them any less human, though. Their hearts, their memories, their wishes and pain, I heard them all. Was it there to see them dissipate like machines falling apart, crumbling to pieces? The old man hunches over with difficulty to pick up the rusted, jagged long sword. The sword seems too heavy for the old man. He can barely lift it over to give to Hanging. Didn't you already hear his wish? Not everyone can bear the weight of life. Humans have the right to choose to live in the past, as they have the right to choose to die because of the past. Instilling them with hope is even more cruel. Hanging clenches a sword that was all but fallen apart, trying to feel the warmth left by its owner. If they can live a life full of hope, why would they choose to die? Because hope is a burden too heavy for them. Hanging cannot wrap her head around the idea. It's simply impossible for a Meknor to understand such logic. Meknor has no reason to reject an acceptable result produced by an algorithm that works with correct inputs. If they could live on without even just a sliver of hope, they would throw their lives away. Don't blame yourself. There's so much between life and death that even humans cannot understand. There are things you need to attend to that are more crucial than this, aren't they? You can always come back to thinking about these things on a different day. You and your friend are still looking for someone, right? Hanging nods in silence. She needs some time to process the truth. The girl and Kulong who followed her into the mountain are in the grand hall on the mountaintop. They're still alive. The mountaintop? Have my best wishes, dear child. But please put an end to this dream if you can't save her. His old man turns around without another word. He faces away from the bewildering, blood-soaked sea of clouds sustained by the sunset. If this dream continues, the streets of Kulong will soon be flooded with Meknoids like these. These Meknoids with their weapons will know what to do, even if the cradle doesn't. And when that happens, the fate that commands life and death will no longer be in the hands of the people. Which means I have to kill the Meknoids and the humans to prevent this calamity from befalling Kulong? Yes. Isn't there another way out? A way to save the souls and none of these Kulong civilians while thwarting the Cradle's scheme? What do you think? If there were a way to save everyone, then Yo could have kept her memories and returned to Kulong, and Hanging herself would not have died that night after the Cradle gained control of her. When you cannot have the cake and eat it, you must make your choice. For a Meknoid, though, this should be a no-brainer. Sacrificing a few in order to save the many is the only correct option. She knows that decision should be an easy one, but that doesn't make it any less painful. No, there isn't. You see, we may have control over certain things, but there are things where we simply don't have a choice. It's time to wake up from this dream. Before you go, keep in mind there is a great gate between reality and this dream. The monk you met earlier is the guardian of that gate. Is he human too? In a sense, yes, but he was given the duty of guarding the gate. He must pass through the gate to see the reality, in order to see Fu Shen. The bell seems to be ringing, right inside her ear. Sounds of it becoming increasingly solemn and distinct. The bodies of the Meknoids have gathered on the deck slowly dissipate and finally disappeared altogether. It is time, eh? Fu Shen? Yes, it's a very special Meknoid that has a heart just like you. But unlike you, it believes that it's been living in a dream when it's actually been living in reality all along. It's the opposite of what people living here think. It was robbed of the right to dream because Meknoids cannot dream. But aren't we a dream right now? That's why you can only live in reality, even though reality might be a bit too cruel for it. Resonating through the mountains, the bell chimes grew louder, almost to the point of ear shattering.
Can't you promise me one last thing before you go? Although, when I ask of you, may be just as cruel. The woman pauses for a moment to let Hung Ying prepare herself. But there's no need for the old man to lay it out on her, because Hung Ying already knows in her what she has to do. Fu Shen, 'tis the name of the mentor of the heart, she'll likely have to kill. Just like she's awakened from a dream after having died once. Those who are suffering the cruel reality have the right to be in the ageless sleep inside a dream. Your eyes already behold my question, but do you have the answer in your heart? Does she really have the answer? No, I don't know. Don't have the power over someone else's life and death because it's a decision his own heart needs to make. Well, you already have the answer in your heart then. Alright then, what you're looking for can be found here. Wait. The elderly figure slowly fades away and vanishes. The deck is once again empty, save for Hung Ying and Spooner in the distance. Along with the chimes of the bell ringing in their ears, they're all gone. The sinking sun casts the last rays of Hung Ying, her shadow stretches across the lonesome deck, silently enjoying the somber tolls. The rays of dust stain like blood, the very crimson liquid will soak her hands. The vital fluid from Lady's shoe that dyed her hands maroon many moons ago. Befitting the same brilliant colour are the laughter and screams and the bursts and deaths that took place that night. Hung Ying. Yes? It's almost impossible to imagine what the Creator has done on this mountain. Murdering humans, extracting their memories and data to create digitalized husks before implanting them into mechanoids. This is a living hell. Do you consider those humans dead? They are dead from a physiological perspective. But the mechanoids we met just now, no, I mean the Kulong civilians, the way they behave and speak, their memories, they're all clearly living as human beings. Spinner shakes his head. I'm not sure how to word it, but I think the truth is much more complicated than that. Truth might be cruel though, but I think we need to accept it to be merciful about it. Not every story has an happy ending. We have no choice to accept at a time like this. That reminds me of Ulysses. God only knows how he's holding up. Spinner becomes choked up and leaves the sentence unfinished. Hugging Heaven knows that reality is probably far worse than that Spinner might expect. All that he came looking for can be found here. She's looking for Yo-Yo. According to the old man, Yo-Yo is safe at the peak. But they still haven't seen this Ulysses that Spinner is looking for. If they are to see Ulysses here, his fate most likely is already sealed. Spinner, I'm sorry. I will never be able to forgive myself. Ah, why do you say that? But a ask of you may just be as cruel. But I think I'm just saying it out of regret, a sense of guilt, or it might be because I did something terribly wrong. Can I really do this? I do not want to be in this beautiful yet hollow dream any longer, but I have to face even more painful truth to leave. Is all this really worth it? The fingertips instinctively move toward the neck once again, toward the enduring scar. On that fateful night, she heard Yo-Yo. She deceived Yo and turned into enemies. But on the same night, she chose death in order to protect Yo-Yo. She was nothing more than an ordinary Magnoid, an ordinary dancer. She did not have the power to protect everyone. She could only selfishly keep her hopes safe in her hands. She hoped and prayed that Yo could live, that she could one day be able to make her own choices. She died for hope. She held tightly onto the hope throughout that beautiful dream. That was how she was able to continue living in the dream until the day she awoke. I will never deny the things I've done. Perhaps dreams are never as delightful and sweet as they are portrayed in ballads and lullabies. If I have to live the gruesome reality, then I am prepared to pay an equal price. Come may, whether it is, human or Magnoid, live or dead, I'm ready to face it. Leaving the very last rays of sun and the sea of clouds behind, hanging steps onto the final stretch of the narrow rocky path. I'm gonna be right back.
Let's start. The blaring tolls of the bell shake the mountain at its core, threatening to shatter the slopes of any monument, sending boulders tumbling down. No longer the melodious chimes that were at the beginning, the rhythmic blares now carry with them with warmth and madness. Hanging on a narrow, perilous trail covered between two rock walls, which only amplify the lively nails. Even the layer of the thin ice growing the slabs is danger of being blasted off. Only over the ear-shattering noise, Hanging and Spoon have no choice but to communicate through wireless signals unique to Mechnoids. The tools here are getting louder and more frequent, meaning we should be drawing near the location the old man mentioned. I think there's probably more to it. The old man said that we're first to come across the gatekeeper before seeing the Mechnoid by the name of Fu Shen. Still haven't even figured out how this virtual space works though. Trail makes a hairpin turn, and when the last flake of frost hanging off the piece of autumn leaves flutter onto a hanging shoulder, the blowing tolls come to an abrupt stop, and Hanging stops in her tracks. Right in front of them is the gate. Beams of sunlight burn throughout the glooming clouds onto the summit, showering in the flaming glow of dusk, and on top of the stairwell is the gatekeeper, standing silently in front of the gate. There is no doubt a Mechnoid, reflecting the sun's radiance, a little evening frost, clinging onto the machine's exposed metal parts. The entity is acting as if it has been here since the beginning of time. Hanging gestures for Spooner to halt. Travels. The gatekeeper speaks without moving an inch. Hugging Spooner. How do you know our names? I was given the duty of guarding the gate, so I must the names of those who come. We are here to rescue our friends. Please let us through. The bell tolls for a warning. Are you controlled by the bell too? I am the gatekeeper. I need enter to the gate. I have to enter this gate. This is my duty as the gatekeeper. The gatekeeper shows no sign of letting trespassers through. I have to enter this gate. This is exactly what a traveler that came before the two of you said too. They were looking for a way to leave this world too. Was it Yo-Yo? You mean Polao, who also goes the name of Yo-Yo. Did Yo-Yo pass through here? Yes, she did. The tolls of the bell let them in, but not the two of you. What if we insist? What if the gate doesn't lead you to where you want to go, or if it's just another dream? Would you still enter? All dreams must come to an end. Leave us with no choice but to find our way through if you refuse to let us pass. The gatekeeper falls silent. He stands there quietly, waiting for the challenge of those who attempt to pass. A moment of silence follows as both sides ready themselves for a grueling fight. Wait. Do you have the key? The key? The gatekeeper looks at Hanging with a confused expression for a moment, before nodding his head and moving out of the way. Looks like you have no clue. You can enter now, please. What in the world is going on? There is a key for every lock. If you have the key to this lock. Lock can only be opened by its key. Tiny speck of light suddenly appears on Hanging. Its tiny dried at remarkable speed, glowing in a warm hue. Oh, see, the old man gave me the key. This is all you need to enter the gate? I'm just a gatekeeper. Travelers must open the gate themselves. Hanging climbs up the stairs and hastily stops in front of the gate with a tiny seed in her hand. Mountain mist surges and through the gate, bathing everything in a dusty white. The view changes completely in the flick of a moment. The treacherous trail and the passage have disappeared. All that's left is the tightly sealed, loathsome gate and a crumbling half wall. It might just be another dream beyond this gate. Now you've been warned. This is your last chance. You can still turn back or walk away from the gate. If you open the gate, there will be things that we need to accept. We? It's a disgrace for a gatekeeper to let anyone pass through the gate. Once you open the gate, I'll try to stop you from going forward and die. I'd rather not fight you or kill you if I could.
Guarding the gate is the meaning of my existence, and nothing will change that. I am sure you know what you have to do. We will accept our fate eventually. Mick nods to face them from the gate and resumes its original upright stance. Hanging grabs onto the rusty door locker and pushes open the gate without hesitation.
It's just the well behind the gate. The environment feels completely different from just now. Just like I thought, this place isn't real either. Why don't I see another gate here? It just has the same answer in the mountain. You mean the answer's just behind it?
You chose to push the gate open in the end. You seem to be ready.
It's a tree. There seems to be someone underneath the tree, but the fog is too thick.
We all know who it is. Wow, amazing animation. Felt like they could have done a better transition there.
Yo-yo. Was she brought here by the hackers? Yo-yo, can you hear me?
Perfectly asleep.
She asleep? Good. At least she's okay. Wait for me here. I'll take you out of here.
Let's do a good old bashing. Really, there's something reinforcements. I was hoping for a one-on-one duel, but now you fight. No, you smacked me good. Jeez. This will do no damage to him. And he works when I charge it out. The support does not do much healing. Really? It's so dumb. Shocking. Absolutely shocking. How does one describe the wind? That which carries the fallen leaf and that which trip ripples the water. But it might not be the wind that carries the fallen leaf or ripple the water. So this is the world beyond the gate. The gatekeeper looks up onto the dancing leaves in front of the giant maple tree.
Have you never been here yourself?
I'm the gatekeeper. What's behind the gate is not my business. I have never returned to look at the gate behind me. Or maybe there was no gate to begin with.
No, the gate has always been there. You are the gate. You're the one that keeping all this from behind the gate.
I am the gate. But this tree is not a dream that belongs to me. I'm just a fragment.
Maybe this dream belongs to the human you.
You mean him? No, this dream does not belong to him either. He only wants to take one last look at Kulong at that ship, at his friends.
Were you a passenger on the Niner?
Who is it? To find the truth, we died on the Niter, we were born again on the Niter. For the same truth, we became the gatekeeper, the gate itself.
Maybe you can tell them the name and the names of your friends. Might not be able to make it out alive, but I can still say hi to them for you. I could tell them your story.
Ha, names are not important. I'm no longer in that dream.
Do you know who this dream belongs to?
I don't know.
Always know that the tree is the dream of a seed. Seed? Looking searches for the seed but cannot find it. This is a wish. Wish that can only be realized in a dream. The old man's dream? Told you, I don't know. This dream's just a wish, not even a real dream. It's too shattered and complete to even have a proper entrance. Makes this as long as needed since you have passed through the gate. Will you awaken from the dream? No, because we're already part of this mountain. The gatekeeper picks up a leaf, which in a moment later drifts back down to the water surface with the breeze. These autumn leaves that blanket the heavens mark the end of our journey. And then we're gonna fight against Fu Shen. I was hoping a bit more context against Fu Shen, but I guess we're going straight into it. Oh no, I forgot to do this stupid attack. Now we can do some dancing. There we go. Charged up attack, we all want to do 10 HP bars of health, that's pretty good. There we go. Gonna beat up with a support. Not the first time I've done it. How rude. Still decent big damage. That's what I like to see. Second phase time. Well, oh okay, I just go through him. And he just throws and smacks me. I didn't realize he did laser beams. Let's do some dancing. This is getting interesting. And I get smacked. Ah, shouldn't have done that. Stowe really wants to smack me to death. For a healer, I'm not really healing that much. Let's do some dancing. There we are. Is he just a statue now? Oh, never mind. What happened? Oh, the dream is light as dawn. The great hall of our homeland is reserved for you. Our homeland is one with hell. Our homeland is the answer to the suffering we endure upon our bodies. Oh, he actually has his own art. I have lost. No, you cannot admit defeat. Get up, you cannot lose. Beside the ancient devil, ragged figures appear one after another. Most of them are wearing similarly styled hats with silk parts of their faces, each carrying a shimmering terminal as proof of their existence. This is not a dream, this is reality. These standing in front of the temple behind Fushin are living humans of flesh and blood. You are the cradle. Get up, you can't lose. You cannot be defeated. The noble undying, you are invincible. I I am wish. I am. The warrior, having collapsed on the ground from fatigue, begins to explode in orange sparks like an overloaded machine. Then, as if pulled by an invisible puppet string, begins to stand up. They are forcing it to rebuke. And when they are done, this is the way this can end. Stand up. Remember your calling. You need to win. There's no stopping. The warrior flicking in red flashes through the gardens once more. Whispers of the cradle, the key clatters muddled together form. It sounds like a grand prayer, but at the same time a meaningless hymn. The dazzling array of different colors from the terminals shines up on their ragged clothes to form a bizarre scene on the stage. Attack and attack. Divided attacks without so much of a coordinated move. It strikes without force from pure insanity, just like glorious red lights from sparkling all around it. Figure in damaged armor gazes a natural figure in midair, leaving her frightening gashes on the garden bricks. Hanging blocks the warrior's attacks as she moves back for a brief moment for a spite. Before she can even take a breath, another attack comes striking down. Hanging. Spinner suddenly emerges and blocks a heavy blow from Fu Shen. Skilled at combat as he is, Spinner still finds it difficult to withstand his unnatural power. Ah. Slaughter and crush. Your powers are limited. We kill. In a split second, the spinners holding their enemy down while Hunging joins in to subdue it. I ask you to. You follow, we retribute. Please fulfill a wish and realize all of our inspirations. Please fulfill. Oh, we're not able to hold it much longer. Spoon, get ready to let go now. Fushin lands a heavy blow on the ground while Spoon and Hunging are rolling in the other direction. There's only one chance. Hunging flashes in front of Fushin. She already closed her fan and is turned into a sharp dagger, now aiming for the heart that might be inside Fushin. It's probably going to stop it if I can hit that. She doesn't even have time to let her memory shell calculate the best course of action, nor does she know how to stall this giant machine. She can only act on her instincts. Complete. Hunging. Your eyes already behold my question, but do you have the answer in your heart? So what is your question? What I know what a heart is. So you found the answer? No, I don't know what a heart is. What counts as having a heart and how to prove its existence. In fact, that is the answer. No, can a question be an answer? Maybe your existence alone is what makes a heart what it is. Perhaps you have these questions precisely because it exists. So, who are you? I am your question. Your every choice, your countless hesitations, every sins and insanity are part of me. Often you existed in my dreams. I have always been here, so has she. This is truly nostalgic. So what is your question? I will commit sins. So what is your answer? I already have an answer. Hello there. Who is this? I'm probably the witness to her answer. This can't be.
Fushen? Fragment of Fushen. I should say what Fushen should have been.
Humanoid hybrid Mechnoid flashes a warm smile. So this is your dream?
No, not exactly. You do know that Mechnoids don't dream, don't you?
This is really one of my insignificant dreams, before I was modified by the cradle.
I kept this wish safe in the deepest corner of my heart.
Then what is your wish in your heart?
That is your answer.
Eyes on the target, she thrusts her dagger in, like an experienced but clumsy assassin. A weak vibration travels up the fan into her palm. Next instant, the vibration grows into a violent disintegration.
Well done. Thank you for taking this life with your very hands. Ah, I remember now. You're the Mechnoid on that rainy night.
Mechnoid on that rainy night? Are you useless?
Ah, that was my original name.
Thank you. Thank you for saving me.
You're welcome, Spooner. But I've hoped to have the prison at the Funny Ring into yet another prison. Place without an exit. There were no signs of stars on that night, just like this. Only trees and sky full of fallen leaves.
The trembling finally subdues into silence. I hope that you'll find the answer you want in your dream. Time for the final story. No, there's one more.
Is this really a good idea? Some problems we must solve with force.
But they didn't do anything wrong. They're innocent.
Tell me, do you believe in God? God? If God wanted to put an end to evil but can't, then God is incompetent. If God can put an end to evil but hasn't, then God is evil. If God wants to put an end to evil and is capable of doing so, then why does evil linger in this world? If God does not want to, and is incapable of putting an end to evil, then why do we call it God? Suffering and evil are the second to last cruelest truths in this world.
Second to last? We hereby declare that the cradle has been reborn. We have taken over this building saddled with holy faith. This will be the beginning of our pilgrimage to overthrow the phony tyrants that rule over Kulong. We would like to ask for your cooperation while we borrow this building. Hey, Fushen.
Oh?
Has the cradle taught you about the experiments?
Many of the apprentices under my master went already. They were all saying how they would need to practice cultivation anymore if they could reach enlightenment using technology. You aren't to tell me you believe that, are you?
I don't, of course. I just want to know whether enlightenment was just another name for truth.
I think it's too dangerous. No one's returned from the experiment yet.
For me, fantasy and reality are just two sides of the same coin, but the cradle offered me a deal.
As a friend, what to stop you from going?
I've been searching for the truth ever since I joined the night, and I have indeed found it. At the cost of losing my friend, and I was supposed to keep safe.
I see.
So I'm willing to bear the consequence if it means I could save others, if it means I could help them find their way out of the fraudulent virtual world. I've already seen the true and false, but it makes me sad to think there are those who cannot differentiate between reality and dream, and live on a dream, believing that it's real. Maybe it's my destiny to atone for my sins this way.
Even at the cost of your life?
Even at the cost of my life, yes.
Have you found them?
Some parts are missing, but I have Phila's research and finding reports sent from our people in the Niner.
Oh my, at least they didn't die for nothing.
I heard that after the assassination, Villa put 300 million on our heads.
Not gonna happen.
Once we get the new debug report, we can start working on structuring the experiment.
Leaving this mess for us to clean up, huh? Well played, indeed, Phila.
We're gonna build that with the last one managing AI with advanced computing power, but I guess we just have to see how things are as we go now.
Got it. Go and rest. You're not a young man anymore.
Ha! I haven't had a good night's sleep in ages.
Be it Shu or Villa, Kulong is gonna pay for their sins.
For the cradle.
For the cradle.
Master, they are all gone.
Good riddance. No amount of cultivation is going to keep them here. They can't stand their ground.
Master,
I'm here to bid you farewell. Oh? Are you gonna join the experiment too? No, I just want to bring everyone back. Your friend went with them too, right? Yes. No one knows what's going to happen. I just want to see you one last time before I go. What's holding you back? Is it really okay if I go? It's your choice whether to stay or to leave. Understood. If a light can pass and to find her 1,000, then it matters not one of them dies. It worked! Duplicate and extract human data in framework in bulk. And the core is? Number 13, a male subject. I think he's from the Niner, but because we don't have an AI with enough computing power, you have to keep the human brain. That will slow down the computing power a bit, but there's nothing else we can do. If we extract duplicated human data and combine it with the debug report from the Niner, it should be enough for us to control mechanoids from a virtual environment. We have no subject to test this on. What about the Niter? Isn't the shoreline crawling with humans after they docked? Brilliant idea, but when we run into problems with the defense unit, the mechanoids left by our predecessors look quite promising. So what's going to happen after that? What do you mean? We have pieced the technology together, now what? Never mind that, let's keep going. I deal with the mechanoids and the humans we used in the experiment. Understood. By the way, are they all dead? They are dead in theory. I'm no biologist, but because we couldn't fully understand Villa's research, we have to kill them to extract and duplicate the data. Are they really dead? The other living world we constructed, is it the same as being dead? What do you mean? The dead don't speak, nor think, but they... I don't know. My parents planned out my whole life when I was still a kid. And they had every single moment of my life planned down from birth to death. No wishes allowed. My life was hell. No, it was worse than hell. Please, just kill me already. I'm innocent. Don't give a damn about the truth. They're just jealous. Oh, it smells nothing like air. But just please only miss my kid. Those who have sinned shall be absolved. Those who have lost their hope shall be granted hope. Those who are on the verge of death shall here be granted eternity. They run inside of me as they roar. People derive the joy out of the pain when they are still human. When their carnal shells perish, they too shall enter the cycle and derive joy out of people's pain themselves. And so too shall solitude, wishes, and hatred and fear forever cycle on. 20 years ago, the Creator told him that he will be able to save everyone in exchange for partaking in the experiment. Broke as a joke, and having nothing better than a tattered clothing to cover himself, the man had nothing to lose. So the Creator modified him, turning his brain into a receptor of people's consciousness and using him to control mechanoids. The man never ended up saving his friends. He met his friends again in his own world, at which point his friends had all perished. So they lived in the dead new world. The Creator went ahead and dug into his brain anyway, hoping to create a world where reality and virtuality would blend to each other. And from his brain they managed to extract the mountain as its most beautiful through replication and growth. And that's how he lost all his memories. Memories of his friends, his teacher, even his name. As a gesture of pity, the Creator told him his teacher's name, the name of his best friend. The man adopted his teacher's name of his own out of shame. By the way, did you know there were no butterflies up this mountain? No matter what season of the year it is. But on the very day when the new world was created, there were butterflies everywhere, up on the peak. I am going home for revenge. I got kicked out of home. This isn't home, so I can't. What did I do wrong? I never did anything wrong. Can you hear them? So this is them? Yes, they have been inside of me. Some were visitors from outside the mountain, some were spiritual seekers, and some were ghosts of the Cradle's making. Ghosts of the Cradle's making? Hackers entered my body and became part of me when they die, which is why I can hear them along with their wishes and aspirations. Don't you hate them though? You're the way you are now because of them.
They have taken so many lives.
I did, except I don't anymore.
They have given up already.
Time wears memories away, and most of the hackers that are still alive have forgotten their wishes.
Eye for an eye, huh? Sounds like something that he would do.
I am in no position to laugh at them, but I guess you do.
I do?
People are animals that live by their habits, but you don't.
I'm a machine and not an animal.
What difference does it make? Who would have been able to tell the difference anyway, had the line between machines and humans never been crossed? Seems like you've made up your mind already anyway.
Sorry? People hurt others and take away what's not theirs to guide and look for what they're after.
And you've made a decision because you've been through the pain of being aware of this cruel truth.
Out of nowhere, Hugging feels though the fan she's holding down, nerving shiver is no stranger to.
Oh boy, look at this tree.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, years ago, except it wasn't as big back then.
The gatekeeper told me this place was someone's dream.
It is indeed.
I presume this is your dream.
No, it's not.
Everything up in this mountain comes from my thoughts. I've seen everything except for this tree, heard about the seeds of this tree, so I put a shard of my younger self on guard for it. In the midst of spun the maple tree, all seems to have come to a halt, even the leaves are still rustling in the wind just moments ago.
By the way, I understand I'm not the quietest old man you ever seen, but I was hoping to make just one last request.
Be my guest, I'll see to it.
Please tell no one about this mountain when you're back home. We're part of the history. We'd much rather keep it that way. Home is too far away of a place for us to go back to now, so please speak of us to no one when you're back.
Of course, sir.
Very well, very well.
Coincidentally, the man studies the leaf he holds in midair.
I was hoping to never wake up from this dream,
but I have no idea anymore if this is actually a dream. You might have woken up a long time ago, and there's probably no difference between reality and a dream.
So please end it all.
She walks alone to the depths of the grand hall. To the end, she has one last thing to do. There lies the world's cruelest of truths. The care unit room in the wooden attic is dominated by electrical devices of all sorts, having nothing but a single window through its occupant can take in the world outside. In the center of the room is a life pod clad in a thick layer of dust, with her hand hanging dusted off. Lying quietly inside the life pod is a middle-aged man with a calm expression with probes of size going to his body, most of which connected to his brain. The sight is painful just to behold. Stagnation is the name they gave to this medical technology that maximally delays human aging, which hanging her in the back in the days when she was still in the night. And living in this pod is a very steep price the user has to pay, for the man inside the pod had time stopped on the very day he became one of us. It's ironic how you pick the face of an old man when you never age, and you've been pursuing death when death is the last of your concerns living in the world. Sound of electricity traveling through the wires seemed to sound through the otherwise dead quiet room. When electricity passes through the wire, the sound of electricity traveling through the wires seems to sound through the otherwise dead quiet room. When electricity passes through the wire, that's it hanging his hand out, turns into all sorts of powers that sustain his life. All his memories, wishes, and aspirations. His life, all of these would come to an end if she pulls the plug now. He will die, and she'll be his murderer. There just might be another way to help them, snap out of this, and help them lead a safe life. You've always known it, except you never wanted to wake up from the dream. At the end of the day, the answers we hold within us is probably what determines whether we are awake or dreaming. Praising life and death was his and their last choice, a choice that she made herself too. The light dims when a cloud of dust slips off, leaving not a single piece of light in the room except the light that comes in from the tiny window. Good night. The wind and the falling leaves utter the truth. Their journey has come to an end. I can see this tree from the attic. I can see the top of the tree, but it's the only thing I can see through the window. I see.
This tree has been around a few hundred years already, apparently. And on it we'll keep living. Sure will. Say, have you ever seen a pagoda tree? Pagoda trees are beautiful in blossom. Let's go when you're done resting. Ah, and I don't need to try to catch up to you this time. No rush. A long journey ahead. Thousands of leaves, a red maple leaf falls to her arm. The miserable soul without faith. The body has decayed, but its soul cannot find the gate to heaven. A pitiful one that shall wander indefinitely before it lands. She is waiting in the empty Kulong.
Leave this one here. Take this box here with you.
Is this a spare part?
Right, and the set of outfits that Hunging usually keeps handy.
Just so we're clear, you're not one of us. You're a construct, and Hung and the rest of us are mechnoids. She kept on saying your name in her dream, though.
Do mechnoids dream?
Well, I won't call it that. It's just our neural circuit running on minimum power.
Living human beings are the only things that dream, though.
She's no human. She's one of us.
By the way, the thing that you asked the shopper to give me the other day.
The what?
The piece of paper with all sorts of weird symbols.
It's a language we mechnoids use. That mechnoid right there beside you will translate it for you.
But Yuna doesn't talk.
Should I do the honor then? Sorry, Yo-Yo. Yep, that's it. That's what she kept on saying in her dream. What's the matter with this, though?
No, nothing really. Anyway, are you and the Sage really going to be able to fix Hung Ying?
Hung Ying's dream is very complicated. It might be the only one who knows how to wake her up. But even then, it's probably going to take a very long time. He either has to leave her dream, or wanders on indefinitely until her soul vanishes in there.
No, I'm sure she's going to make it just fine. What's going on? Is that my voice? Am I afloat in the air? That's me by the port, right? Why do I feel like I'm seeing this weird mechnoid over there? That glass pot over there. No, I'm sure she's going to make it just fine. What's that? Yo-yo. Hung Ying? Hung Ying? Here I am. A dream, Wilson. Seemed ridiculously long. Same. Am I still dreaming? No, Yo-yo. You're awake now. It's all over, Yo-yo. That's good to know.
Hung Ying's arms pull out once again, closes his eyes, and falls into a dreamless sleep. With Miku's last wish carried out, the mountain has never seen a single controlled mechnoid, nor heard the tolls of the bell. Wake up in no time in Hung Ying's arms. Puao holds Hung Ying tight like she did on the night many years ago. Between them, however, there are no tears shed, but only joy that needs not to be uttered. As the members of the Pulau crew wake up after another shed think it's been 20 years. Pulau directs them to capture the remnants of the cradle, during which they stumble across some Pulau crew members who have lost their lives. Spinner lends Pulau crew a helping hand, and something he rarely ever does. Ah, easy there. Throughout the entire process, Spinner remains quiet. He only shakes his head when Hung Ying asks him whether they should take Fu Shen back to the church. I'll respect its rests, says Spooner. Mount Hau is the same old when they're back on this foot, except there isn't a trace of machine or human.
This is such a beautiful mountain. It is. But we don't get to see mountains so beautiful outside of Kulong.
Extending her hand, Hung Ying is about to pat Yo on the head like she would many years ago, but she realized that patting Yo in front of her subordinates probably isn't exactly sightly.
Let's go home.
Without any hesitation, Puao takes Hung Ying's hand. Amidst the clumps of mugwort, barnyard grass, and white grass, the green bricks and grey tiles of Kulong are nothing more than paintings found in painting scrolls that impartially document the moss on the crumbling stone walls and the rest of the steel wreckage. Most of the squalid tiles on the floor are no better than pulverized dust now, having been worn down by the fires of war. Some, however, remain where they always have been, albeit crushed and splintered.
Stretching into the distance, they seem to have a story to tell, every passerby of their collective past. My lady, we just threw the guys we captured from up the mountain to the pantry of East Mall. Remember the pull-out crew? Still a woman. I can't bloody... The pantry? Why though? Lord Xiaofen rented the old pantry to keep the guys because we're out of space on board to keep them. Tisk, what a guy. I guess I'm gonna have to thank Sir Zhu personally then. Anything else I can do for you, my lady? Beneath her tone, the veil is a soul no older than late teens, as much one can tell. Let's call it a day, and thank you for coming all the way here. Pleasure's all mine. Surprised by Puao's friendly gesture, the girl takes a hop and disappears amidst the yellow-grey bricks and tiles. The kid, how old is she? 17. She joined us last month. She's got all sorts of interesting ideas upstairs, though. She really enjoys carrying herself beyond her age. That sounds like something you did all the time, Yo-Yo. No way. Dumbfounded for a second, Yo-Yo quickly breaks into a happy smile. With the bricks crackling suddenly under their feet, Yo-Yo and Hunging fade away in the grey scroll. In the craters through which river and water flows, amidst the fractured high-rises, down to the last corners, there are traces of unfiltered punishing. Beyond the bridge, the water makes its way down to the still deeper riverway. By the bridge stands metallic road signs and bears the name of the street, number 20, East Solo Street. Hanging. Why do they call this street Solo Street? I don't see any big tall silos here. That's because people from the ship used to store grains in warehouses here, but not anymore. I see so many restaurants and fruit stalls and sugar figurines. Do you want one? I've got a few more grubs. Han Ying, look over there. Someone's doing martial arts on stage. Is there a performance? No, they are more like bodyguards. Rich people hire bodyguards to protect themselves and their goods. Oh, can you make money as a bodyguard just by doing that? I can do it too, then. Not quite, but you've got the right spirit there. Might be late by the time the performance ends. If the market's still open, we'll come back through the street and get some snacks. Yep. Without making so much as a noise, the river water courses on, outspreads and dries up before it outspreads again. And as though nothing had changed between the two of them hand in hand, walking quietly down the street of Kulong. Hanging. Yes? I just want to say your name, because it's been a while since we last enjoyed a walk together, no? It's been 20 odd years. I still catch myself thinking about what would have become if you never turned you into a construct, Yo-Yo. Huh. Xiaofen is super naggy. I never want to become someone like that. But you haven't ever regretted it? I mean, you did it because of me. Because of you, I survived living on the ship. Come on, Hanging. You really need to stop bringing that up. I'm gonna keep my mouth shut about it too. Puella holds her hand out with a smile on her face and covers Hunging's mouth. When she sees Hunging's think, however, she appears distracted. Time has brought them more memories than they could have ever encountered. Yet everything about them in the city has transcended time itself. Hey, watch out there, will you? Out of nowhere, a man carrying two hulking stacks of goods passed them by. Almost making the foul pass of dropping his goods, the man managed to save himself the embarrassment of some ordinary maneuvers. Apologies. Sir, what are you? Never seen a luggage carrier, huh? Life would have been so much easier if those bubblers didn't just show up and take my job. No, sir, that's not what I mean. Anyhow, I gotta go now. Without a generous smile, the man picks up the luggage and walks away. Did you see all the things the guy is carrying? Fresh tungquil there. Fresh flowers here. All light in gold and neon lights. The street bustles of stale coals here and there. The concerts and red lanterns over the decorated archways suddenly having come to life with the crowd making their way through the street. What is all this? This is what Coolon should be like. Out of the hustle and bustle, the street emerges as the middle-aged couple. Hand in hand, dressed in traditional outfits, gentle looking, the man looks this way with a smile. Hey, it's you. Shh. Standing by the man, the woman carrying the distinct vibes of a researcher, by her index finger over her mouth. Huh? The two of you aren't likewise, are you? I was born here and raised as a proud Kulon kid. Seemingly bothered that her identity's been called into question, Puel now carries herself tall. I've bet that you two weren't from around here through judging from how clueless you look. Are you sisters? Of course. Must be quite a handful having to take care of a younger sister acting by on her age, no? No, not at all. I wouldn't trade my days on the night of her for anything else. The nighter? So you really are closest. Clueless. I still remember the gigantic ship that Bishi built. Have you been on the nighter? Well, not really. Well, that's a shame, but it's docked right by the port now, so feel free to pay a visit whenever you want to. And I take it you take us there as a local guide? Never had to do that, but you can always count on the almighty pull-out. Wait, you can't be part of the pull-out crew, are you? Well, I am. Oh my. So you're the one of the child of Kulong. Can't even tell you're a kid. Life is comfortable with you part of the Kulong crew, right? What's your salary like? I wouldn't describe my life as being comfortable. I mean, I didn't join it for the grubs. Well, of course. As Yo-Yo in the main chair away about the Kulong crew, the woman quietly lets go of her husband's hand and walks up to Hung Ying. Knowing full well where they are, the woman gently grabs Hung Ying by the arm all the same. She's the same great fun as she used to be. When she was a kid, she kept saying how she wanted to become one of the heroes of those action movies. And I guess she's made it. She always wanted to come back to Kulong, but shaking her head, the woman cuts Hung Ying short. Time had long forgotten us, but a fresh start awaits you, as well as Kulong. I don't think Yo-Yo knows who you are. That's fine. Let's keep it that way. But I promise to come back here with her to visit the two of you. And if you kept your promise. The woman says with a gentle smile, the same way she did so many times back when she was living in Kulong. Boy, that's super far up north. I know, right? There's only ice-free port on the Arctic route Reunion was able to do their business with us at. That place is so cold, I mean, you can literally freeze there. It's the ice blasting out of your nose. Man, that really does sound bad. Which is why antifreeze comes in handy for constructs here. But the weather there is actually really is just a cakewalk compared to all the sort of things we need to deal with there. Seems like you're a true globetrotter then. What's the one line they always say? Love and hope? Conquer it all? Right, totally had that at the tip of my tongue. Have you heard of the cool magical girl, huh? I have, I still remember it. There was this panda in it that could fly and speak. Oh my, I kept thinking that people would have known an anime this old. Sure is, isn't it? Lying at the depths of the scroll are memories that transcend time itself. Hey, let's get going. Pretty chatty today, aren't you? We should let them go now. They've got a whole lot of things to do here. Oops, apologies. Are you leaving already? Yep, we did enjoy a good trade with the two of you, though. It's time for us to part our ways and carry on with our lives. Are you really from around here yourselves? Well, I say we've always been living here, but this is where we've always been living. But a globetrotter like yourselves probably isn't going to stick around for too long, no? We'll see about that. Will I see the both of you around in town? You bet. This kind gentleman has promised to do a Kulong's magical CD exchange with you, no? Yep. No I ever let that slip. Alright. I'll see you both around then. Yep. Take care. Good care now. Do take care of her, Hung Ying. I will. Walking hand in hand down the back of the alley and taking a good turn, the couple disappears amidst the green bricks and grey tiles. A long trip later, Kulong finds itself in the way it's always been. I assume that was Pulao's parents. The same way they find themselves now. Do you know them? Well, we go way back, kind of. Have I seen them before? I feel safe and happy talking them to the man just now. That's how I feel when I talk to you two. That's because you're used to talking to strangers now. Yeah, I guess that means I grew up a little. You heard what I said, right? You're old enough now to be out there to keep people safe. I'm sure no kids can survive days on the line like you did. But I had this funny feeling just now, when they left. It's kind of like a part of me went missing. Even Hungy can feel Yo-Yo's grip tight around her own hand. What is that for? Time had long forgotten us, but a fresh start awaits you as well as Kulong. That is the trip they take before the fresh start. Without saying a word, Hungy tightens her around Yo-Yo's. It's fine, Yo-Yo. Remember how you promised me that you'd never cry again. I'm not crying, I'm just sad. I don't know why. It's fine, I'm here. So do you know your way around here? Not really. I can't walk and crawl on my own to save my life. But let's do this together, Hungy. Alright. Time for the dark thing. Something shady. Oh, never mind. There's a cutscene. To think that Pulau's actually in her like 20s.
あそこのエビ団子は今も当時の味ですか？よよ、あなたに渡したいものがあるの。あなたの過去と旧流、そして両親に関する記憶、持ってきたの。そのままでいいです。本当に？でももちろん本当です。私はもう欲しいものを見つけました。わかった。よよ。
Oh, it is just pronounced Yo-Yo. I was correct.
美味しそう。ダイヤ姉さん、こっちこっち。え。
I should really work on my own timeline. I probably should make that in the stream. Make the PGR timeline. All I know, it's been 23 years. I know the Chinese have been working on dates, so I'm gonna be using that as a reference. Jeez, that's gonna be a pretty big project. A few days later at the church, Machina. Why, that is a shame. We could have totally fixed your friend and restored his memory module if we used technology with the same humanoid hybrid as you. Would have been very nice of you if you shown me some more trust. As I said, what a real shame. I disagree though. He picked his own path, and I had no intention of getting in his way. Well, so be it. Say, how's Hanging doing? She's back in Kulon now. But she just came back here now. When Hanging took Arcana up on her invitation, Arcana told her that she could stay in Kulong and help her kind. Oh, that is great, no? I mean, given how little we know about, they can make their machines in Kulong. Making a sucking noise with its mouth. Some fiddles with the invention in his hands. Hey. Yes, anything else? Can't help but remember how Arcana looked when Hanging took her up on her invitation a few days ago. Oh, you have no clue, did you? You see, the hanged man didn't get replaced because of a natural cause. You mean Hung Ying? I was talking about the last hanged man. This is what happened a long time ago. Well, a bit over a decade ago. I think you weren't around then. Because of what happened at the church, the guy who was assigned the role of the hanged man died the very same day he joined the church. I didn't have to find a replacement since until Sage woke Hung Ying up. A guy that died the very same day he joined the church, you said? Right. I guess this is probably what's going through Arcana's mind when she had that look on her face a few days ago. Up to that point, every single hangman was replaced because of unnatural causes to the point they overtook the chariot and wheel of fortune. And we thought Han Ying just might be able to steer clear of the same fate, given that she technically died once. Say severe as it touches a non-existent chin. But who knows, right? The depths of the second prison analyzes Orlop a little while earlier. So I hope you're enjoying your suffering so far. A man walks into an otherwise empty prison cell. His face is silhouetted with his back against the sun. The creator, however, has no trouble recognizing the name. You didn't come here to poke fun at me now, did you? We're both nothing more than dead corpses trapped in coffins in the past, Ying. Well, yours is probably a little more expensive than mine, I suppose. He's fucking alive. I see, you're the same old. And so's that ugly face of yours. They've got most of your people up on the mountain. Just heard from the sea that the old friend of yours is dead too. In short, you're all done for, every last one of you. Unfazed by Ying's discursive tone, the cradle remained seated squarely on his plank bed, his eyes fixated on the porthole. Well, we were all done for a long time ago. What goes around comes around, and I'm sure they saw this coming. Given how old he is, this didn't hit me as a surprise at all. Right, I'm here to help you all face the music. With it, Ying pulls something out of his pocket and places it on the plank bed. It's a pistol. I brought this here for you. It's got a single bullet in there. Say, you don't think I'm gonna rat you out, do you? What happened was written in Kulong's history, keeping a grip of assassins and assassinating the Lord of Kulong. Well, I guess the would-be Lord of Kulong would have been a much more fitting title. Do you really think that everything you did will just go poof if you wipe me out? You're the last one among your people that lived through what happened, so I thought this end a bit fitting for you. Saying not a word, the creator reaches for the pistol and picks it up. The gun weighs heavily in his hand. An end befitting the Last of Us, huh? Interesting how it all falls as she said it would. Turning his trembling hands around the gun, the creator trains it straight at Ying. Easy, just seeing to see if I'm still alive. Scared, are you? A second, why would you be though? I'm pretty sure you have another one hanging up your sleeve somewhere. But you should be, because I'm one of the last Knight's prisoners. It makes perfect sense that I die here. And this time, though, you won't find yourself another ship that will be able to carry you. This time I said my last words now, isn't it? Shame indeed. Looking out of the city from the top of the observatory, one can see the white line of the sea and the sky met, just right beyond the port. Over the top of the city sits a flower pond that has been out of maintenance for far too long, ruffled by the sudden gusts of wind, and water in the pond ripples away in the unkempt estuaries. This is her favourite spot from which to enjoy a sweeping view of Kulong, be it to be past or now. Blue might be the one gathering responsible for this city, but when her wings touch upon all that she can see, she realizes that the city can give her no more in return what she can give the city. Reciprocity, such as the principle upon which everything operates. Throwing the tremor in the air, by Guy's projection appears by Shu. Ma'am, they're back from the ship. I saw them. The medics are still up in the observatory. I asked them to get the thing you need ready. Thank you, By Guy. Don't mention it, ma'am. There's one thing I haven't quite wrapped my head around, though. What is it? Based on the information we have, those people living outside the city seem self-sufficient. They even carried those central purification filters into the city. I was just wondering if we really had to go out of our way to do everything we have for them and their children. When they made the choice of fleeing home, while we were caught up in fighting the punishing. Well, I wonder if the people of Kulong see us any differently, though. Kulong treats all fairly, whether they once deserted the city and felt ashamed of being who they were, or had the burning urge in them to once again set foot in the city. We never hesitate to crucify those who have wronged or betrayed Kulong, but a mother never turns away her child. Traversing the Battle Sky Observatory, past the dimly lit ship, the wind carries on toward where the sea and the sky meet. I'm so sick of the ever-changing politics and all the mind games. The Science Council is developing this technology they call Just Start. I'm going to join them. The only way to rid us of the imperfections in us and bring us ever closer to perfection is through absolute logic and rationality. Pathetic. It never hit you all these years. That governance is nothing more than a relationship that's built upon mutual pretense and implicity of he who governs and who is governed. Ha! No, you don't get it at all. You have no right to name her. Her name is Who Shall. And she's going to be the only impeccable existence in the city. She never meant to blame her blood brother. Oh, he is her brother. It wasn't really sure. I was assumed is he a brother or a cousin? I know they were related. And I guess it's the confirmation there actually are siblings. Oh, I knew they were related. Her pedigree and her birth in Kulong are what set her life in stone. She was always meant to be the one lone finch that sung only for Kulong, and to the world she is only one too many. What would have been her chosen path, though, had she had the privilege to choose her own course of life? You might have tried very hard to rid yourself of the imperfections in you, and you bring yourself ever close to perfection, Villa. Interesting how the machines you made turned out more human than you, no. Ma'am? Anything else I can do for you? I just got a message from Fushi, saying they're almost done with the data you need. Great. Do it with it as I said. This might be a stupid question, but are we going to show people the data of Tabula Akasha? See, there's a way for us to express our gratitude to her. I see. There's just one other thing. We've had a woman from Babylonia visit us at Kulong a few days ago that we'd never seen before. She went to the Nida first and coming to Kulong. She seems to have spoken with some people in the Nida. With a by guy's projecting now shoots a photograph. A picture of a rundown breakfast canteen with a bizarrely dressed woman seemingly conversing with Shao Fen, who sits across her. Ah, it's her. Presume you know her, ma'am. Do you remember Du Hung? Da Hung? Du Hung from the Astral First Bureau, I presume? Correct. But he died protecting the city, if my memory serves me correctly. Yes, except his wife took his name and lived on because I asked her to not return to Kulong to avoid the battle. She's aged quite a bit over the years. She hasn't reached out to us at all ever since. And she might not be the most active of people, but she does things with plans and never backs away from what's difficult, so I'm sure she knows what she wants out of her life. I see. I'll take my leave now, ma'am. Flying away with my eyes, but our guy's voice vanishes. A smart strategist knows better than not to get involved in the war itself. Past midnight, living souls are a rare sight down the port. The wish the night was docked. Having hanging stands quietly by the sea, sizing up the ship they may call their home. Hi, Hanging. Why, hello there. Been seeing you here. People keep saying that you left for Kulong. Are you not going back to the night, huh? I don't think I will. There are things I need to do in other parts of Kulong. That's great. Interesting how home could be so close yet so far, no? And yourself? Are you going back? The Lone Swan knows no home, neither do we. I'm not going back because there are things I need to do, just like you. So, where is Yo-Yo? She's got her own things to do on the night in Kulong. There are people she needs to protect now. She's not a kid anymore. Nodding her head, Du Hung finds herself sizing up the Niner by Hunging's side. You should really pay Kulong a visit sometime, though. I mean, who knows? Kulong might just shine in all its former glory again somewhere down the road soon. Let's chat over some nice tea, then. On me, of course. With a few light pats on Hungin's shoulder, Duncan walks away with casting another look. With it, Hunging finds herself alone again by the port. Rubbing the copper card in her hand, she gazes at the ship not so far from her. With the card that reads 12 in her hand, she hazily reflection of herself, staring back this way at the surface of the water. The lone swan knows no home, as it stays by transistently in the pond of life. She can tell reality from a dream, and she now tell life from death, which is why she no longer questions what a heart is, because her heart's very act of raising the question itself, and answer through to the question. And now only one answer the question left. The slap on the waves against the bank is reminiscent of time itself, as it ticks away in the land it's Kulong. Amidst the sound of the waves, the night grows darker still, until the green figure can be seen no more. I'll make home where my heart finds its place. On that night, deep within the embrace of Mount Hualai, finding the document she recovered a few diggers, an unknown sender, Du Hung, now finds herself at the doorstep of the Cradle's lab, located at the foot of the Grand Hall on the peak. From the look of it, the lab hidden from sight below the Grand Hall now parallels the sides of the temple that stands above. What are you doing, PGR? Hidden all the way up to the mountain in the woods. Who would have guessed? This is the source code. In the hulking vacuum tube that stands out of a dozen meters tall is an object that any human with a normal vocabulary would have a hard time describing. With specks of light in all sorts of colors emanating through its cracks, the object is a hodgepodge of parts from printed wire boards from a large amount of wires. On its plethora of monitors showing views of different locations in the mountain, the vague figures making their way through the passage. The object can probably best described as a gigantic harp, one consisting of wires and chips, with dull electricity coursing through its blood. Aesthetics most likely wasn't a major point of concern to the designer when the electric harp was first built, hence all the patches seen all over it. They're not good with this. It only goes to show the taste of that bunch of lunatics, I suppose. Du Hung shakes her head, her figures walking over the control panel in search of what she came to look for. Hey, are you seeing this? Yes, the Dana crystal is clear. Wu Shao, Magnoids, the North Asian researchers use the life of science and evolution. They got themselves a rowdy party, I see. Wu Shao came up with Tabula Akasha. It's obvious that these hackers are trying to copy that. Even went as far as saying the technology that NARI had to come up with on brain science. But they only end up replicating a tiny little part of Villa's technology, which is why they weren't able to rebuild a second Hu Shao and Tabula Akasha. Nothing borrowed is ever groundbreaking. Never hurt to give things a try, no? I don't exactly have faith in something that a bunch of lunatics come up with. Do you believe in Tabula Akasha? It doesn't really matter if I do. The hard drive sitting on the panel is now transferring data at top speed. Within her dry hand, she rubs the hard drive with the same gentleness that befits either a crying newborn or an empty cardinal shell. Well, live on as a bargaining chip for us, then. Well, it was certainly a story. Well, certainly it's better than what they did with Alpha.
こんな働き方をまだ続けるなら怒りますよ。
But, yeah, finished the next chapter, and next one I think is going to be 21. And I have no idea where the direction of PGR is going. I really don't. They got so many pop points now, they pretty much created this self-feeding cycle. Seems like everyone is progressing except Lucia and Alpha. Well, we'll see how things develop. Anyway, thank you all for coming to the stream, and I'll see you all next time. Good luck, and take care.